Great, lovely people. Welcome back to the Love Naturally Experience. And in today's video, we are going to be doing individual astrology readings for preparation in this new moon, this black moon, this Beltane moon, this solar or partial solar eclipse moon energy that we got coming in. And I'm just so excited and so thrilled about it. So this is going to be a little bit of a long video. I will add the timestamps so that you can go to your individual zodiac sign. Now, the way that this is going to work, I will be recommending for each of you to listen to two parts of this video. The first thing that you're going to listen out for is your sun sign. What messages are coming through for your sun sign, because your sun sign is what will be influenced from this partial solar eclipse energy that we do have coming in. The second thing that I want you to look out for is going to be your moon sign. Because we're dealing with the new moon, and this is a lunar reading, as I am a shadow work shaman, we are going to be looking at the shadows or the darker energies that are coming through and seeing what your moon sign is going to need for you to develop or either to address during this transiting energy. So two things that I will be doing. First and foremost, I will be pulling from the chakra deck. And this chakra deck, I just love it because it really helps me to find out where within my aura or my chakra body I need to add some healing. And then for each of the signs, I will be pulling one of the, or however many come out, of the Moonology cards. So this is going to focus on the lunar energy, what we need to see lunarly. And this is going to focus on more on the energetic realm when we look at our energy bodies and do that through our chakras, okay? So with that said, and without further ado, let's go ahead and start with the earth signs, starting with Taurus. All right. Hello, Taurians. This is your personal lunar and chakra reading for this transiting energies. And let me just say, you can expect a lot of inner feelings or inner growth, because both the lunar and solar energies right now coming up on April 30th will be in Taurus, because we're still in Taurus sun and the new moon is in Taurus. So I'm so curious to see what is going to come out for you. I did not shuffle yet, so get the shuffle going now. Spirit. So we want to know for the lovely Taurians out there, and this is again for Taurus sun and Taurus moon. Let us know what chakra and what within that chakra do we need to start to have those Taurians place their focus on. And Spirit, as usual, I am looking for any jumper cards. Okay. That's feeling this good. All right, my lovely Taurians, you are being called to remove despondence. Despondence. And when I first encountered this word, and I encountered it through this card, it always threw me off, because I'm like, what is despondence? What do we mean by that? But despondence is the things that you have been unconnected to. What have you been disconnected to or have allowed to grow outside of your sense of nurturing? Because what Taurians do, you have a natural sense of nurturing. But as you can see in this card, we're dealing with purple energy. So this is a crown chakra that we have to focus in on, which tells me that you have some work to do with connecting to your guardians. You should be looking at listening to the messages that you get in your dreams. For Taurians, I believe you are very oftentimes your psychic gift is connected with synchronicities. And you're being called to look at those synchronicities that are happening in the waking world and match that to what is happening in your dreams, because your guardians are trying to send you a message on what they want you to start planting deep roots for to grow on the earth. And you can kind of look at the expression that's down here. And to me, that's the way that I'm depicting this from what I'm transmitting from the energy in the collective. Is this here is kind of like your spirit guides, and this is you just kind of like, you know, weeds are growing everywhere, just things are a little chaotic, or maybe not, or maybe they are, or you're just too untapped in to find out. So you're being called to tap in on a higher realm. So you should be working with some amethyst crystals, or any crystals that are going to help elevate your crown chakra. You may even want to work with selenite crystal, or just a general clear quartz. And I say crystal because you're the earth signs, and you are literally earth. When I think of a Taurian, I think of a mountain or a tree. And you are going to want to channel that earth energy to see what you are trying to command down and bring into the earth realm. There are things that are up there in the ether that you are ready to start to plant and to bring down to earth. You are here to materialize something grand, if this message is resonating with you, but you're ignoring that message and it needs to stop. All right, we'll talk. So let's see on the lunar end what's coming through. So I'll shuffle 3 times. I'm sorry for the noise. Spirit, we want to end within our protected circle. What do our Taurians need to focus on for this new moon that's approaching on April 30th? Nice. All right, so Taurians, you have some of that little Piscean energy. You are being called to look at, how to balance your spirituality and practicality. And boy, oh boy, how is that in line? How much of that is in line with what we've just covered? You just said that there are your guardians and your higher spirits that are trying to, your higher self really, is trying to connect down to you, but you're just being disconnected and you're not really being responsive to the messages. So you need to bring some balance into your day-to-day. You need to change up your routine. And there's no one better than Pisces to get that Piscean energy that can help you do that. And with Neptune and Jupiter in alignment right now, you can definitely channel some good old Piscean energy to just let you, Pisceans, if you know anything about us, Pisces true and through, we do not like routine. If you want to turn me off, give me a freaking routine. I like to go with the flow. And Taurians, you're being called more to go with the flow, but that flow is the ocean of the great mother, the waters of the cosmos. That's why in this chakra card, she has her hands up, and right above her head, you can see that she has a gray kind of cloud. You're being called to bring your attention to your spirit body, into your spirit self, because there are things that you are ready to start to birth, that you're ready to seed, to germinate, and to nurture, because that's what you Taurians do. And one thing that is your greatest strength, Taurians, that you actually have over, I'll say, every other sign next to Capricorn. Capricorn too is good at this, and so is Scorpio. But Scorpio is good at this in a vindictive way. Like, they can wait for that vengeance. But that thing is your patience. You have the gift of patience like no other. So you have the ability with that patience to really bring forth greatness through something that's more communal. I'm not seeing something that would be just beneficial to yourself. This is something that's going to affect your family. This is something that's going to affect even more than your family, like not just your immediate family, can affect your family's family or friends' family, and you know, you Taurians can be very generous to the ones that you love, like Cancers. So by all means, please channel this energy, work with amethyst, keep it by your head when you're sleeping, or on a nightstand, or if you can safely put it in a pillowcase where you don't hurt your face overnight when you're tossing and turning in your pillow. And I think you're going to start having some messages come through. Keep a journal nearby so that way you can write down any synchronicities that you may be getting. All right, Taurians, best of luck to you. So my lovely Capricorns, my favorite signs, one of the most complex signs to understand in the zodiac. Let's go ahead and put a quick shuffle going, and we're going to see which chakra and which lunar energy is being called to you right now into your focus. Shuffle. So, Spirit, we are looking for the chakra that our Capricorns, Capricorn moons, and Capricorn sun signs, which chakras do they need to call into balance? Right. Cut the stack. Okay, let's see. Capricorn, what do y'all need to focus on? Let's see, we're looking for all right. Asking this given. Completion. Completion. Immediately, without even looking at the image of this card, there are some things that you Capricorn need to lay to rest. There are some old memories or old traumas that you have lingering. And I can feel it building up in my top of my stomach, because Capricorns, you don't like to usually address your emotions. Like to treat a lot of things like business. But with the Great Mother's energy rolling in like a beautiful, like a wave approaching on your feet on a sea, you have to surrender. And that's one thing that you Capricorns do struggle with, because you are such a powerful sign. But this completion that we see here, and there is if you can see that, she is looking at a tombstone with some flowers that are planted here. And it looks like there is a memory that this person is having of a past loved one. So this can also be a message from someone that you may have recently lost. Someone who is older than you. I feel maternal or paternal energy. Parental energy could have been a guardian, someone. And I feel that you have not given yourself the proper time to mourn, or you've not given yourself the proper time to allow your emotions to come full circle in the process of grieving, which is why you're not able to allow things to come to completion. This could also be a lover or a husband that someone may have lost, but I feel more parental energy. This is coming through the sacral chakra. As you can see, we have the orange influence. And with that sacral chakra coming up with the completion, this is relating to your emotional field, but it's also relating to things that have effect or influence on your childhood as well. So if there are childhood influences, or what I'm hearing is there are connections that you are either going to begin to make, or connections that you have not yet come into, but you need to be aware of, from things that may have occurred in your childhood with death and it may not be death of a person. It could just be death of something that is major, death of a relationship. But there are some things where you have to practice saying your goodbyes. Okay, so there is a call for you to get clarity on the shadow work that you need to do. So for you Capricorn, just off this alone, I'm immediately saying that you need to take a bath. You need to take a salt bath and add a few hand throws. And literally, I want you to put, let me slow down because I'm channeling, I'm seeing it, but I'm not able to catch my words up. So run yourself a warm bath water, not hot. You want warm, like, lukewarm. Put some salt, about 3 cups of salt is what I'm seeing. And then you're going to take 3 handfuls of sugar. 1, 2, 3. And every time you throw that sugar, imagine yourself sweetening up those memories, okay? So 3 cups of salt, 3 handfuls of sugar. The sugar you're going to throw into your bath. And as you throw it, you will be imagining these memories becoming sweeter in your body, in your mind, in your emotional body. But that is one thing that you can do, Capricorn, to help alleviate some of these. And I feel it in my chest so heavy. I'm so sorry that you are feeling that, okay? But let's look how the lunar energy is going to help you, because I know it will. The Great Spirit, what lunar energy do you have for us? I'm going to pull another card because my bracelet kind of knocked. I think that card is popping out, but I'll take it. So, Spirit, what other lunar energies do you have for us? For these lovely Capricorns. Anything else? See. No, I think that's it. No, that's it, Capricorns. Nothing else is coming up. So the energy is gaining momentum. So during this waxing moon, this is an indication. Immediately, Spirit is saying that you're going to have to brace for impact. Anything that you have been ignoring on your emotional sphere, you will need to begin to address, and the momentum of those emotions will begin to escalate within you. But on the opposite sphere of that, those of you Caps who have been looking at your emotional history, because that's shadow work, looking at your emotional history the same way you have medical history, you have emotional medical history. And those of you who have been looking at the past and looking at how your traumas have affected you, you're going to start to see have that energy momentum go in a positive direction and a more uplifting and more encouraging, because you know you Capricorn sometimes are very, sometimes can be prone to depression. So please make sure that you are addressing those things. And if you would like to book a consultation or a free 15-minute call with me just to give you a motivational boost, I would be honored to help you through that. Okay? All right, Capricorns. So best of luck to you. And that is it for your reading. All right. For the lovely, lovely, lovely Virgos out there, my wonderful Virgos, let's see what is in the cards for you today. All right, so starting with our chakra deck, I've already shuffled just to kind of eliminate some noise on camera and timing. I'm going to cut the deck and then we're going to pull the card fresh and see what pops out. So we're working with the chakra deck, and we're also going to be working with the lunar energy. So first, starting with the chakra. So Spirit, we want to see for those lovely Virgos, what chakra do they need to call into balance and why? Okay. All right, Virgo, you got 2 cards, and I'm not going to question it, I'm going to take it. So card number 1, victim. All right. Immediately, this tells, okay, immediately I'm getting, let me put this other card down so I don't forget this energy. Getting victimization. Have you been playing the victim on something that you're ready to grow through? And the reason why I say that is because you see the nut here in the middle? That's a little acorn. That little cute little acorn there. That acorn is letting me know that you're ready to plant those seeds of your big girl, big boy, mature self, where you no longer have to be a victim in that circumstance. And it's not to say, we'll get over it. It's to say you're ready to look at those scenarios in your life that have triggered the idea or triggered the emotion of victimization within you. And this is a call to action for your sense of self-protection, because Virgos, you can be very overly accommodating towards others to keep that image or whatever image that you may have created for yourself. And often Virgos are very intuitive and very empathic, so they can feel the energies around them. So it causes them to have a heightened sense of anxieties, and you don't have to be victim to those environments, those people, those, even if it's a job. I'm feeling that it might be a job for you, Virgo. That's what I'm feeling. I mean, it would make sense because Virgos love to work. I mean, Virgos love to work. Jeez. And it may be a job that you are becoming a victim of, and you no longer need to play that role of victim, or not that you're playing that role. And this is two-sided, because some of you are actively playing that role of victim, and your spirit guides are telling you, all right, it's time to shake that shit off and let's get right. But there are others who are not necessarily playing the role of victim. You are just innocently being a victim in a scenario or a circumstance that it's time for you to dust off and plant seeds. So I didn't look at the second card. Let's see what it says. All right, so we have perseverance. So first off, before we look at perseverance, victim is related to the heart chakra, hence why we have the green card. And this heart chakra energy is going to be very, very heavy right now, as we're working with Venus. We're working with Venus and Pisces. We're working with Taurus being in the sun and in the new moon right now. We're working with Piscean energy with Jupiter and Neptune. So there's a lot of heart chakra energy that you are being called to address and a call to look at, that is going to help you to alleviate some of those instances where you may feel vulnerable, which makes sense why you have perseverance. You are being called to persevere and push through these traumas, push through these anxieties. And every time I get this card for somebody that I'm reading for, or if I'm doing a reading for myself, that person over here, that lovely lady in the robe, that's your spirit guide. You literally right now have your guardian, literally. If you call out to your personal guardian and you listen long enough, if you don't already know their name, this is a great time to get information to work with your personal spirit team, your God squad. And you will see that in this picture, this guardian is whispering in her ear to tell her to keep going. So yes, this is telling me that this is something that you're working on, Virgo. This is a work environment that doesn't serve you. This is, even if it's a work environment where like you work from home and it's like, crap, I just can't focus. Like I need to be somewhere that's better suited for my drive and just motivates me. So it's something about what you are here to create, kind of like Taurus in their reading, but this is related to something that you're here to actually create, and you are on the path of creating it. It's just you have some setbacks that are not allowing you to achieve it. And don't play a victim, don't either play a victim or don't allow the situation to make you feel like a victim. You have the power and the strength to push through. Also in the victim card, you have the dragon and you have the squirrel here. And the squirrel is all about working hard, putting in the hours. And the dragon here is a spirit animal. The dragon is the great mother herself, but this is big energy through hard work. So perseverance will be needed. So we have heart chakra and sacral chakra. Both are related to the emotional bodies or the emotional energies within our spirit bodies. So for you, Virgo, I'm getting immediately a walk in the park barefoot. I don't know. And I even saw a stone. So if you have a mound or a mountain, and I don't literally mean go find a mountain and climb it, but if you're somewhere where you have rocks, even if you can buy rocks, I know this sounds weird, or find some rocks, clean them off and just put your feet on them. There's some grounding, like heavy grounding that you Virgos need to do in order to tap into your spiritual energy. And also Virgos, I want you to call out to your spirit guides. Like literally, when you wake up in the morning, just say, whatever you say in the morning, you say your prayers or whatever you're into, but just say, spirit guides, be with me, communicate to me. Show me signs in numbers, show me signs in butterflies, or show me signs in the color of blah, blah, blah. Let open up that gateway of communication with your spirit guide, and also head over to my blog, www.lovenaturally.com, and I want you to look at my spirit guide blog post and to learn how to better open the communication with your guides, okay? So Virgos, take a walk in the park. This is going to help to channel down or to alleviate any anxieties that you're feeling, because your emotional body is very active right now. But it's also going to ground you into your personal self-worth, so that way you can move forward with better persistence and more perseverance for what you are creating right now, because you are creating something quite impressive. So lunarly, let's see what's going on. Again, I've already shuffled, just going to cut the deck. And Spirit, we are looking for any cards for Virgo and the influence of the moon. What advice do you have for us? Okay. Virgo, you and these two cards that you keep getting out. So everybody else got one card, you guys got two. So the first one is be bold and make the first move. So this goes right along with our message. This is your call. This is your confirmation, literally, bro. This is your confirmation to take the initiative to make that step towards your transition and what's going to help you to achieve that work goal. If it's leaving a job, if it's applying for a new position, a higher position, if it's applying for a higher pay job, if it's going back to school, if it's, like I said, for some reason, someone here is working from home, or someone who's watching this reading, they're working from home and they're realizing that their work from home life is not working and they need to transition to, and you may even have the money to pay for like an office rental, but you're being called to do that. You have too many distractions at home. I don't know who you are, but you are being called to do that. The person I'm seeing has fair skin and blonder hair, what I'm seeing. But by all means, make sure that you are taking heed to that inner message to everyone, because your confirmation right here, be bold and make the first move. Next, you have adjustments are going to be required. So yes, halfway into, I would say, the waxing moon phase into the full moon phase, you will be introduced to some adjustments that will have to be made. And this should not be that hard for you, Virgo, because you are the mutable sign of the earth signs. So you should be able to roll with the changes that are coming. But be mindful that this comes with the shadow work of your prep towards taking the first move. If you're not moving with your guide, who really is just your guidance. Your guide is your higher self sending you an archetype of a spiritual, energetic body that you need to identify as itself. So your God body is literally giving you a version that can exist on this lower plane to give you guidance. And if you ignore your guide, which is in turn ignoring yourself, with me, Virgo? I know you are, because you're Virgo. If you ignore your guide, which is in turn ignoring yourself, these changes that are, or these adjustments that you're going to have to make, they're going to be bumpy. They're going to contribute more to your anxieties. So you better start believing in yourself and making those adjustments where you know that you're ready to do it. It's one thing, Virgo, you're very intuitive, very intuitive. Very intuitive, because you're so observant. So you observe everything going on inside of you, inside of everyone else, outside. So because of that, it heightens your intuition. And with great power does come great responsibility, right? So I hope that does serve you, Virgo. I'm happy to give you this message, and best of luck. Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely Aquarius. I must say, you are my favorite sign of the zodiac. I'm telling you. All right, Aquarius. We are going to, like I said in the beginning of this video, look at what chakra energy that you need to focus on for this new moon approaching on April 30th, and for the days leading up to the full moon, of course. And then, like I said, also, we're going to look at the lunar energy that you need to focus in on as well. So, starting with the chakra. So, Great Spirit, and I've already done a shuffle to avoid too much noise in the camera and to save on time. So, Great Spirit, we want to know for Aquarius. I'm now working with Aquarius. I want to do a little bit more clearing because I just read for the earth signs and I don't want to cross influence in the message. Clear it out a little bit more. There we go. All right. So, Great Spirit, we want to know for the chakras under the Aquarians, what is it that they need to balance and focus in for this? Oh, wow. I'll take that top one. Typically with Aquarians, your energy is usually scattered. So that could be an indication of scattered energy, but let's see if a lot pop out again. See if there's anything else. I'm feeling like we have more in here. All right, interesting reading for you, Aquarius. So first and foremost, let's start with this powerful card here. And that is release. That is release. As I just said going into this, Aquarians, what I felt pulling these cards is like a lot of scattered energy. I don't know if any of you are feeling scattered, and I don't really want to say anxious. Like anxiety, it's not really what I'm feeling. I'm feeling just like a scattered brain. You ever have like a day where it's just like a monkey mind? You don't know where you left your keys. You meant to put your socks on, but you are in the kitchen making a sandwich and you got to go. Like, you know, you're just doing things out of like ordinary order, and it's just like you need a mental release. And if you can see, he kind of even has his head, the character here in this picture, he has his head kind of like it's kind of like covered up with, and he has like rain that's coming down as well, and he is in a graveyard because this is signaling that there are some things that it's time for you to lay to rest. You need to be laying some things to great rest, and your body, this gray aura or this gray color, typically, you know, we can relate this to the chakras that are just above the crown, but this is lower earthly energy that is causing your aura to actually be smudgy. So your aura, not saying that your aura is gray, by no means. What I'm saying is you may need to do some type of a aura cleanse or something that's going to help clear up your mental like your mental space or your mental plane, because you've got a lot of thoughts going on. You've got a lot of just, your thoughts are everywhere, man. I'm feeling it. And it's a lot of things that you just got to lay to rest. I don't know if it's, let's see what it is, because I have a next card here, perseverance. But before we read on perseverance, I wanted to talk about instinct, okay? Because you have here this instinct card, which tells me that there is an animal guide or some type of animal guide, or some type of, you might be, it's a night animal too. So it might be an owl, it could be a wolf even, but I'm seeing an owl, a wolf, maybe even a bat. And if you are seeing these things in your dreams, or if you have been just seeing wolves a lot on TV, something about an animal guardian energy is trying to lead you through some of those mental strains that you have been having, or things that you've been holding on. You're being called to also follow your instincts on some decisions that you need to make. That is what it is. That's why you're not able to lay things to rest, because you have not decided. You have not followed your instinct. You have not followed your inner guidance. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Spirit. And the owl is coming up in my mind because the owl represents wisdom, right? And that's Lilith as well. The owl is also Oya, which makes sense why we have rain in this picture here. So you need to start looking at those items that you have left unturned, those jars that you've left unsealed, those dishes that you've left unwashed, and you have to start slowing yourself down to address those things, because your instinct, your inner guidance system is telling you what to do. But I think there's so much going on for you right now that you just feel like you have to just shut down. But don't, baby. I want you to persevere. That's why I wanted to get here next. Perseverance is going to be key. We also got perseverance for our Virgos as well. So if you have like a sun or moon cross, you might want to watch the Virgo video. Or if you have sun or moon in Virgo, more so. But nonetheless, perseverance is going to be needed right now because we have big energy transiting through. You are going to have to dig deep, deep, deep within yourself. And if anyone can do it, Aquarius, it is you. A lot of times Aquarians are the leaders of within their own communities or within their own whatever community or society they've constructed for themselves. They are just independent thinkers. That's why you have the wolf too, right? Because the wolf is usually, this looks like a lone wolf. He's not with the pack. He is by himself. And you have to use your independent nature to follow through on, if it's a big business venture and you have a huge philanthropy idea, follow your instincts and persevere through it, because your guides, and again, this is a spirit guide. So you have two guides right now that are coming in to help you out and that are giving you wisdom. You right now can begin to alleviate your mental strain by doing one thing and one thing alone. That is meditation. For the other signs, you know, they may have to do spiritual bath and grounding, but for you, Aquarius, you are going to want to meditate. You're going to want to slow down your energy. And the best way to slow down your energy is going to be through meditation, because there are some clarities that are waiting for you in the ether. Hence why you have the great card that have yet to come through. All right. You also have the sacral here, your sacral chakra, that you need to call into balance as well. So doing some meditation on the floor, or doing meditation with the, you can look up on Pinterest or even Google online, but you can see where or how you can position your body so that way your sacral chakra is best positioned during meditation. And if you're not into yoga and doing all that stretching stuff, which should, because stretching is so essential for the body's chi and the flow of it, you should try, Aquarius, I want you to try using your voice. You guys usually need something more interactive, so you can try to use mudras, or you can use the mantra for the sacral chakra. Don't know what that mantra is right now off the top of my head. Might be VAM with a V-A-M, but I could be very wrong about that. I tend to confuse those, so definitely confirm which is the sacral chakra mantra. If anything, I'll post it on the screen. And while you're meditating, put your hands in a mudra position for the sacral chakra and recite the sacral chakra mantra. Okay, on the lunar aspect, let's see what's going on. Spirit, so we want to know, for Aquarius, what lunar energies. I feel like there's something else in here. Let's see. All right, for us. But first and foremost, before we even look at that card, we have a new romantic cycle that is beginning. This is great. I love romance. I love energy. Love naturally. Makes sense, right? So this is a great sign. Perhaps these are relationship things that you have not laid to rest mentally, or decisions that you have to make about a relationship in order to welcome in this new romantic cycle. Aquarians, you tend to be lovers of friendships and quick interactions, or quick I don't want to say quick sexual encounters because I feel like that paints the incorrect picture of you. But that's one of the things that I love about y'all most. Y'all are just so free-spirited and uninhibited. And I think that's what's going to bring you to this new love. But there is opportunities for something that's a little deeper if you're looking to plant deeper roots. If you are. Let's see, this one. Nothing is yet set in stone. So there are plenty of opportunities, and I feel like this is lovers. I don't know. The Aquarians, it makes sense because we all know so many people, and people just love you. I mean, it's just so personable. But there is nothing yet that's set in stone. So that tells me that there could be a few different lovers or just a few different opportunities that will come into your life that will help you to make those concrete decisions that have been floating around. But don't be overwhelmed by the decisions because nothing is set in stone. You can always go back. You can always change your mind. You know, Aquarians, you're here for experiencing and for exchanging those experiences in life and making connections and connecting others to others. So keep things lighthearted. Learn to release stuff and not let it settle down so deeply so that way it weighs so heavy on you. Because again, there is nothing that's yet set in stone, whether it's a lover or whether it's another type of life decision that you have to make. So remember, Aquarians, please, please, please meditate and release all that does not serve you. Hope that's helpful, Aquarians, and best of luck to you. All right, Gemini. Geminis. Oh, Geminis are fun. I love Geminis. So welcome, Geminis, to your reading. I apologize for the shuffle. I did not shuffle before we started. So let's just do it real quick. All right, let's look at that. Okay, so my wonderfully fun, my wonderfully hilarious, my wonderfully witty, get out of any jam. I mean, y'all have got to be some of the slickest people. Y'all can get out of anything. Very energy. Let's take a look. Okay, Gemini. I'm gonna go a little faster because I know how y'all like it. Okay, so first thing we're gonna look at is the chakra energy. What do you need to bring into focus? What do you need to bring into center in the chakra body? All right, so I've already cut the deck. Let's see what pops out for Gemini. So good spirit, let me know for the Geminis, what do they need to be focused center? Take it, and then let's go ahead and pull the lunar energy as well. So great spirit for Gemini on the lunar span, what do they need to? Thank you. And it makes sense. Y'all got two cards, so we'll look at that in just a minute. Starting with the chakra card, we have insecurities. Ooh, so this is very interesting. I never really know Geminis to be insecure, but they may do a really good job of hiding it. So there are some things I'm feeling that you have been guarded on, that you are ready to, kind of reframe, not release, because I don't think you're able to release it. Geminis tend to have trouble with grudges or holding, even if it's a grudge against, you know, something that they've forgiven outwardly. Inside, they still tend to not move on as easily as maybe a Pisces or another sign. A lot like Cancers, right? But there are some insecurities, or there's something that is happening inside of your heart span that's affecting your root chakra. So when I see here, I see I don't know if you can see here, we have like the devil in the bottom, or the depiction of what they think the devil is in the bottom left, and it's kind of pointing towards the heart and how he's not allowing anything to enter the heart. So you have some blockages that occurred at the heart chakra, but this is red. So this tells me that something happened to you, to your heart, that affected your sense of self and lowered your energy down to your root chakra. So if you are feeling right now, Gemini, if you've been doing any binging, I'm seeing the binging, or I'm seeing overindulging. I'm seeing somebody eating some chips right now. Chips look good. But binging, or binge eating, or binge drinking, or just overindulgence in some things, it's because you've ignored an insecurity that you have in yourself, and you're actually feeding the demon. Which is, and when I say demon, I don't mean that you have the demon inside of you. Let's stand corrected. What I mean by that is you are feeding that lower energy, and not to refer to demons as lower energy, because they are not all of them, but you're feeding that lower vibrational self that does not serve you. What it is serving is insecurities in something that you have not hearing poorly managed. So if you poorly managed money, or if you poorly managed bills, or if you've poorly managed a relationship, it's something that you have not done the best at from the heart center. It definitely affected relationships. It could even be something related to gambling, and it's making you a little insecure about who you are, and it has literally plugged your root chakra. So, which makes sense if it's related to money, because the root chakra is what rules our finances and how well we manage our finances. So here's what I want you to do, Gemini. I want you to do journaling and writing affirmations, because you are air energy and some of the quickest moving air energy. You are going to do best with writing affirmations, and I want you to write affirmations for 3 nights in a row just before bed. Now, if you have an altar, you can light a small candle. You don't have to do a big glass jar. Just a tea light candle will do, actually, and have a journal that you dedicate to writing affirmations down. You can get a journal from the dollar store, anywhere you find in the house. Shoot, staple some pieces of paper together and make a cover, and here you have a journal. Get creative. But I want you to write down affirmations that are going to elevate your mood, and I feel that you need to write down financial aspirations. If it's related to finances for you, and if this is resonating with you, whatever your insecurity is around, write positive affirming affirmations. Now, I want you to do this for 3 nights in a row, right before bed, and you're going to write the affirmation down 3 times. So, for example, you could write something like, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy. Then you're going to state it aloud. So you would write it first silently, then you would state it aloud. And then if you have a small candle, which you can do at your altar, I would recommend you not bring the candle into your bedroom unless you got that type of setup. You're going to stare into the flame with what you've just stated aloud and imagine your message transmitting into the candle. That is going to help alleviate some of those insecurities, and it's going to give you a little bit of some of that reinforcement that you need at your root chakra, because I'm feeling that you got hit heavy and you have not addressed this for quite some time, for years. This is something that you have for years ignored. It's not something that just happened like a day or two ago or months ago. This is years in the making, okay? And it is encouraging self-destructive habits, all right? I recommend, Geminis, that you do a reading, like shadow work reading. I offer shadow work readings. If you want to do a free 15-minute consultation, I would love to connect to do that. Or you can work with any spiritual practitioner that you trust to get more support if you feel that it's needed, okay? All right, so there is, oh my goodness, there's no way. You guys got the same cards as my last groups. So we're going to go with it because these two definitely did jump out. So as you can see, adjustments are required right now. And this just goes to show that spirit is really driving the same energy across all signs. But adjustments are required. So if you are dealing with addictions, or if you are dealing with some type of really hurtful pain. It could be just also just binging or negative habits that you've picked up recently, or just really feeling down and unconnected to yourself and feeling just like almost like a monster a little bit on the inside. Just know that adjustments are going to be coming in, and that these adjustments are required because they don't serve you. The energy that's ushering in right now is elevating all of us. So what you're feeling is not serving you. So you will need to be bold and listen to your heart. I know you've disconnected yourself from it a bit, but make the first move. If something's telling you to call a therapist, if something's telling you to go to a rehab, if something's telling you to call a friend, if something's telling you to take a little retreat or a little vacation, if something's telling you to call your mom, if something's telling you to call that person that you have a grievance with, that you don't want to speak to them ever again, I think it's time for you to make that move, because that's what's going to help you to mend what you've been ignoring in your heart space, right? Okay, Gemini. So don't lose that fun energy, but don't get caught up too much in the fun. Remember, we need you as well to take care of those serious things, because you are so crucial in the communication of a healthy family. No one communicates like a Gemini, right? Best of luck to you. All right, lovely Libra. Some of the most beautiful people I've ever met. They know how to put themselves together. Beautiful Libras. All right. I just saw the candle flame spark, so that tells me the candle agrees as well. All right, Libras. So we are going to be looking at what your chakra energy is going to be for this new moon, this black moon that's happening on April the 30th, which is this approaching Saturday. So after we look at your chakra energy, we're going to look and see what lunar influence or what lunar guidance that is coming through for you. Okay, so I've already shuffled. We're going to go ahead and cut the deck. Let's see what jumper cards, Great Spirit, are coming out at this moment for Libra. So Libras, you are going on a quest. You are actually, let's take this first, let's do this quest card, because some interesting energy is coming through there. Libra, you should be ready to begin doing a quest or starting a quest, and that makes a lot of sense with the Libra full moon that we've just exited. That is ushering in energy of completion, of a smaller, or an old, not older, but a smaller cycle within you that has brought you to kind of like a point in your life where you're ready to start out on a voyage. You're ready to start out on something new. You're ready to start out on, it's kind of like you're like a Jedi. I don't know, that's the image I'm getting, but like you're like a Jedi who's going out to meet a new Jedi master to train you for the first time, because you've completed older training and now you're ready to ascend to this next training. So there's some kind of big things that you've just recently called into balance, which explains to me why we have the two pictures. Something that was out of balance for quite a while, and it could have even been something that was out of balance that you picked up or that you learned from your childhood. It could be, I'm seeing that's parental mental conditioning. Maybe it was a style of parenting, or it could have been a style of communication, or a style of the way that emotion is expressed. You've kind of annexed that bridge in your bloodline. Wow, it's very powerful. You've annexed that bridge in your bloodline, and it's ancestral healing that you've actually done as well. And it's something that you've bridged from, that will affect both the younger, or the innocent child in you, but it will also influence the mature matron that you will grow into becoming, male or female alike. So this energy is the throat chakra. You are ready to speak your truth. You're ready to speak on it. You're ready to let the world know. That could be in a book, that can be in a blog, that could be in an article, that could be in a podcast, that can be in some type of format that information becomes shareable. And it doesn't have to be those traditional routes. I'm seeing some of you actually walking onto a stage. So that could be just joining a local festival or a local committee or a local convention and just speaking at that convention to share your journey and to begin this new quest before you. And it's interesting that you also have the destiny card that comes up with quest, because this quest that you're embarking on, like I said before, it's big energy that just culminated with the last Libra full moon. And this quest is your destiny. You're being called to do this. And you can see here we have the polarities showing, which is representative of Libra in the bottom right hand corner, with the black and the white veiled students in their black and white capes, and they're kneeled before gurus, or how I envision these characters in the top right as ascended masters. So this is training that you had brought down with you from the cosmos. You are more than likely, if this message is resonating with you, and if you are watching this and you're still with me and you're engaged, you're probably from an ancient divine bloodline, and you should consider getting a reading done to see if you are. I don't do those type of Akashic readings, but there are a lot of psychics that do. But you may be a part of a very ancient bloodline, or just have a very ancient cosmic lineage that you came down here on earth to do. So this is a calling that you kind of can't, unfortunately, escape. You have to do it because you signed up to do it. This was you signing up under the guidance of your, I want to call them like your team captains. And not that they're in charge of you, they're just, you know, your elder guides on the cosmic realm, that you got permissions or blessings to come down and complete this mission. That's why I said earlier I felt a lot of Jedi, like Jedi warrior energy. So some of you are probably spiritual warriors or light workers or shadow workers like myself. I'm a light and shadow worker, hence you might be a light and shadow worker too, hence why we have the two different capes. All right, so for you, Libra, what I would like for you to do is to do some meditation with the crystals representative of your throat chakra, but also moldavite is what came to mind. Moldavite is extremely difficult to find, especially if you want good moldavite. So instead of using moldavite, you can try clear quartz, and I'm hearing opal. The crystal opal comes to mind, and opal is going to help open up the connection, your communication. And it's also going to help open up your connection to your intuition and to your higher self. So that way you have a stronger guidance, or a stronger sense of guidance, while you're completing this mission or completing this quest for your destiny fulfillment. Okay. So again, Libra, a little bit of meditation with some crown chakra crystals. I'd recommend quartz, clear calcite, or even kyanite, but definitely work with lapis lazuli. I didn't say that one before. Lapis lazuli, moldavite if you can find it for your crown chakra, and opal. Opal is definitely coming to mind. I think opal is even going to encourage the childlike spirit out of you, which is, they're saying that you're going to have fun on this journey. It's not going to be an arduous one where you just feel like, oh gosh, I'll never get a break. This is going to be a journey that's fun because it's something that you're meant to do, so it won't feel like work. So I'm going to recut the deck, but I do want to see, Spirit, what lunar influences do we have for Libra? Lunar influences. Okay. So Libra, it's time to release negative energy. It's time to let some things go. So you are going to tap more into your Pluto sphere, or even look at where Pluto is on your chart. That's what I'm hearing for you, Libra. Look where Pluto is in your chart. Okay, you can do like a free birth chart calculator, and if you don't have any Pluto in your, or if you don't know how to calculate your birthday because you don't have time of your, or the date of your birth, or whatever information you're not having, not date but place, excuse me, then you can, if you have a Scorpio anywhere in your sun or moon, that could be pertaining to looking at, if it's the moon, relationships, or if it's the sun, it could be something in your day-to-day waking life that your intuition is screaming at you. But nonetheless, we're looking at your Pluto placements, Libras, for you to see what it is time to let go of and what it is time to end and release and drop the negativity. Because that stuff, Spirit is telling me right now to tell you right now, that stuff cannot come with you on your new quest. It can't come with you down that journey because you had to let that die. This is a kind of wilted flowers, and these flowers have so much growth and fresh, plush, new leaves. That stuff you had to let die in the past. You know, you had to give that away. You had to give that up because it doesn't serve you where you're going. And where you're going is destined for you to get there. So again, Libra, look where your Scorpio placement is. If you cannot look at a birth chart, then I would suggest that you go into deep meditation, preferably at nighttime. Try to do it at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when you can get to your deepest part of your subconscious, even if you wake up and meditate or stay up one night really late, because Pluto represents the dark sphere. You're not going to get this download by sitting in the sun. You're not. You might get it during the partial solar eclipse because of the eclipse that's coming in, but I feel what I'm feeling is for you to sit in the dark, Libra, and bring, that's what they're saying, aha, Spirit, bring from the dark. When you sit in the dark, you're going to bring from the darkness into light what you need to release if you're not able to look at the Pluto on your chart. Or you can just do the dark meditation no matter what. And again, no candle. You can choose to light a single candle if you want. I would recommend lighting a black candle. But if you have a white candle, you can also use a white candle, or just pitch old black. Okay, Libra. I do hope that that served you, and best of luck to you on your journey. Aries. First boss of all the bosses. Cardinal King. If you have a great day so far, Aries, do a quick shuffle, and we are going to see which chakra Aries is on to you to be balanced. And once we look at that chakra, Aries, we're then going to look at the lunar aspect that y'all need to focus on. Okay. So, Great Spirit, starting with the chakra, please reveal to us for those Aries Sun and Aries Moon, what chakra and why do they need to begin to call into focus? See if anything else. I'm going to take both of those. Okay. Right. Okay, so you've got, we have a lot of call to release things. So let's start with the first part that came out. Bittersweet. There are some bittersweet memories that you are certainly not able to let go. And these bittersweet memories, I feel, are nostalgic. They're from a time or from a moment in your life where you felt grand, where you may have felt very empowered. You may have been living the limelight, the good life. You know, take what applies and let what else flies. But You may have been living a certain lifestyle or a certain way in your life where you just felt really good. That lifestyle may have really fed your vanities. It may have really fed, and you may have been center stage. Because, you know, Aries, we love to be in the center stage, Aries. So you may have been in the limelight, may have been in the spotlight. It may have been something that, or even like a dream for you to want to be in the limelight or spotlight that you have let kind of dissipate away, or it has just created a change of a lifestyle. So this is a nostalgic memory that is coming up for a lifestyle change that has occurred, that has affected your appearance. So whether that's your social status appearance or your physical appearance, something that may have happened to you. I don't know why I'm seeing a burn, or someone with a burn that may have had a change in their physical appearance. But nonetheless, there's some type of change that may have happened that is leaving you with these very bitter, sweet memories that have you focused on the wrong values, because vanity is not something of value when you want to move towards a higher version of yourself. But if you're not ready for that journey and you want to stay, you know, kind of in the realm that you're at of thinking, then by all means, this message may not apply to you. But if you're like, you know, I'm tired of feeling not my full value, my full self, it's because you're holding on to memories that that they're just not a part of your reality right now. And those memories are almost making you be superficial. It's making you project a superficial version of yourself that does need to be released. And I did get the release card for my last group, but this release for you, these are things that they're telling me that you're going to take some of these ideals that you've created to the grave with you. And your spirit guides don't want you to do that, because that means that you did not, or you may have not learned the full lessons that you came here to learn while you were here on Earth. And almost I feel like this is a teacher trying to tell you that let go of the vanity message, and this might be you down here in the red dress that is not receiving this message. So interesting, with the throat chakra, it's usually a message that you need to project, but this is a message that you need to listen to. And I'm feeling the Archangel Gabriel that is coming in for you, Aries. I want you to channel, if you are into the archangels, work with Gabriel. If you're not into the archangels, you can work with Gabriel's polarity, which I'm not sure of the polarity of Gabriel, of the demonic spectrum, but whatever is your reach. Most people like to work with the angelic energy, which I recommend you do, and work with Archangel Gabriel to see and ask him to help reveal messages that you may have been missing as of late. These messages are going to help you to release things that your guides don't want you to. I don't know, I keep hearing the movie Cradle to the Grave. I've never seen that movie, but it's like cradle to the grave. So don't take it to the grave. They don't want you to cradle to the grave or take it to your grave with you. Even if they are secrets, some things that you've done in secret, maybe even if you've gotten, I don't know if any of you have gotten like cosmetic work and it's like bittersweet now and you're feeling regrets about it, you need to begin to release those things. So for you, Aries, I want you to work with Archangel Gabriel. You can light a candle and just look up a prayer to Gabriel. You can look one up online. It's quite easy. Or you can recite your own prayer from the dome. Those are the best because you're speaking from the heart. And Gabriel does not require much to get her or his attention. So work with Archangel Gabriel. Ask Gabriel to reveal the messages that you need to hear and to put it in your face. And you can also try working with Archangel Uriel, who Gabriel and Uriel do work quite well together, because Uriel is going to bring you to your divine light. But you can't get to your divine light without going through Gabriel first, because Gabriel is going to walk you through what the message is, and then you can step into your grace. So this bittersweet feeling that you have, you can absolutely take control over it. It's not something that you have to wait for and just bear through. No, this is something that once you begin to hear those messages or allow those messages to resonate in your heart, you will be able to move forward and release what you need to release. So let's see in the lunar aspect what's going on for you, Aries. Okay, Spirit. So we want to see in the lunar span what's going on. I'll take these. Okay. So again, we have this card. I swear it's come up at least 4 times. It almost makes me want to reshuffle, but I trust the cards that jump. So be bold and make the first move. You are a cardinal sign. So there are first moves that you are going to be called to make very soon. A win-win outcast is in your forecast. So this tells me that if you are going through some type of like court struggle, or if you're going through some type of contract negotiation, or just some type of legal debate of some sort. I don't know why legal is coming up, but it is. It may even be a divorce or a relationship that served a part of you or a version of you that you realized was no longer part of what you wanted, didn't serve your higher loving self. Then you will be having some victories out of this. But you need to absolutely be bold, Aries, to make that change or to make that first step towards listening to your higher self. A lot of times y'all are so much on the move and you don't stop to take or stop to smell the roses is what I'm hearing, or stop to take the time to listen towards the messages that you need to be bold about. Okay, because not everything requires your attention, and you always have a lot of energy to give. So give energy towards those things that require your attention, and you will be victorious in the end. So if this is a big goal that you're climbing towards, if you want to get back on top, if you're trying to get back into the music industry, if you're trying to get back into acting, back into modeling, back into real estate, back into teaching, back into your spirituality, whatever it is, you will be victorious in doing it. But you got to take the first steps. When you hear that hankering, you got to follow that hankering and take those steps towards achieving it. All right. Okay, Aries. So I do hope that served you, and the best of luck to you. All right. To the lovely Sagittarians, one of the most intelligent signs of the zodiac. And really funny too. So Sag, you know what we're doing? We are looking at the chakral energy, or the chakra body that you need to call into balance for this approaching black moon on April 20th, Saturday. But this is also energy that's leading up into the full moon. So this should kind of take you up into the next full moon. After we look and see what chakra needs your focus and attention, we're going to look and see what lunar or lunary influences are coming in and what guidance does the moon have for you. So again, this is for this is for Sagittarians, or the chakras for Sagittarian moon and Sagittarian sun only. Right? So I'm going to cut the deck as I've already shuffled, and Spirit, we are calling into our attention which chakra needs the most balancing, or what chakra needs our attention most for the Sagittarian moon and sun signs. What a great perspective. And you can't lie. Expansion. And expansion is literally the description of Sagittarius, right? Expansion represents Jupiter, and this is giving me a few things in my mind for you, Sagittarius. Is 2 things. It's what are you expanding, and what have you been holding back from expanding? So looking at this picture here, You have a divine alignment right now, a divine calling to expand your energy and expand your reach through your energy. And the way that you're going to do that is through your voice. And they're telling me that there's more in this deck for you. So hold on. What else? For a second. Right, that one kept up. Okay. Again, we have insecurities. And the bottom deck energy is growth. I don't know. I didn't look at the bottom deck for anybody else. But someone, for some reason, something's telling me to look at it for you, Sag. So there are some insecurities that you have grown from. And this is going to, in turn, give you the ability to expand your spiritual body. So there's some spiritual work that you, Sagittarius, and I say spiritual because if you look in this picture, you have a lot of cosmic guardians that are blowing their breath, their prana, their energy down onto you as a blessing. So those guardians are asking you to take what you've learned from those hard lessons that you've just gone through, you've just come out of. You see how his arms are folded? You, Sag, you just unfolded, or you are in the process of unfolding your arms, and this is key to your growth. So I'm going to put that bottom deck energy down because that's not the key focus, but it's interesting that that is there. Nonetheless, these insecurities that you have grown through or you are growing through is going to allow you to be able to expand on a higher level. You're no longer doing low vibrational shit. You are now doing stuff that's going to affect generations ahead of you. So this expansion is not just, expand your family, and it could be that. Or it's not just, why don't you expand your investments? Well, this is more on an energetic realm. So in Sagittarius, you rule intellect and philosophy. So you are being called to look at your ideologies and to expand what you have thought, what you have created already for yourself, what you thought was something that worked. And that makes sense with this partial Taurus solar eclipse black moon, because this Taurus represents what we lock onto, what we hold onto tight. That's why Taurians can be some of the most stubborn signs of the zodiac. But you have to unlock your thoughts, because those thoughts are going to allow you to expand your view to reach what you need to reach. And you don't realize it, but those thoughts are harboring insecurities that are preventing you from getting to your higher spiritual self. So this chakra card, the first one the front one we have is blue, which is the first one that popped out. This is related and connected to your throat chakra. So this is time for you to think about, how can you communicate out your message? How are you able to send your message out into the world? One thing that I would recommend for you to do, Sagittarius, is to just start documenting or kind of monologuing, or even if you just record your voice every day, or if you record a video every day, or just do some writing, but you should be doing some type of logging of day-to-day your life experiences to see, because one thing about Sagittarians, it's hard to convince them. They have to see it to believe it, but they're really good at convincing other people. So that's kind of like why they're not with the bullshit a lot of times. They're like, you can't bullshit the bullshitter. And Sagittarians are the OG bullshitter. And I mean that in a great way. My moon is in Sagittarius, so trust me, I know how to get my way with words if I really, really want to. So you need to move past just dealing in that sphere and expanding your sense of what you've believed to be by actually witnessing for yourself patterns. And the way that you can witness that is through documentation. So for you, Sagittarius, I want you to write out or record audio or record a video, and it doesn't have to be every day, but as often as you can, do a check-in and then reflect back and see what you are witnessing in your dialogue, in your body language, in your wording, in the tone of your wording, that you can start to move and push past and expand. So let's take a look and see what lunar energy is. All right, so Sag, I have your card. So this here is the answers you need are coming. All right, the answers that you need are coming, and they are coming from your guides, and they are actually here. It's not that the answers are coming, they're already here. You are just being called to listen to those messages, so that way you are able to expand and exchange those messages. So like I said before, your expansion is not just about yourself and or what I said more so is your expansion is not just about the way that you're thinking, it's also about your exchange with the world and how you can get the messages that are being channeled down from the heavens, from the cosmic guides that have been assigned to you, and how you are going to get that information out to everyone else. So the answers on how you will be able to spread your message, like I recommended you do through your throat chakra, which makes sense why you have a Gemini lunar card come up. But the way that you're going to spread your message, it will come to you in the most serendipitous way. Because that's the thing about you, Sag. You're one of the luckiest signs with Jupiter as your ruling house or your ruling planet. So you're going to have a lot of serendipity in the way that your guides are communicating to you. But you've got to let go of those insecurities and start trusting in the guidance that they're giving. Not being so arrogant, if arrogant is resonating with you, but we Sagittarians can be very arrogant. Okay, let's be honest. All right, we can be the best at it. So much that it's scary, but you have to let go of those insecurities, drop any arrogances that you may have developed about people, about places, about things, because your spirit body needs you to grow past that. That's why you have growth down here, to get those messages taught to others. Because again, Sag, you are teachers of the zodiac. So your recovery is going to affect so many people, okay? All right, Sag, I do hope that served you. Okay, y'all are literally like a bolt of energy, life, joy, just youth, just goodness, like a sunflower. So, Leos, I've already shuffled. So, as I've mentioned before, we are looking at the chakra energy. What chakra body do you need to fall into balance for this April 30th, Saturday, Black Moon, partial solar eclipse, Beltane Moon, a lot of stuff going on. But what do you need to begin calling into balance within your chakra body? I've already shuffled to save some noise on the camera and time. And the next thing that we're going to look at will be the lunar influence. So what is this new moon energy trying to communicate? All right, so starting with the chakras. So, starting with the sun and moon sign, Great Spirit, and looking at the chakra body, what chakras do they need to begin to fall into balance? Okay, let's pick this first one, and I'll get any more spirit that we do need to bring into balance. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. I'm going to go with this one first. First and foremost, you have creation. Now, if anyone knows, if you know Leo, they are some of the most masterful creators out there. You Leos are being called to look at what it is that you are creating and how you can make those creations more connected with your true self and your true purpose. This is not about what you're creating, what you're not creating. No, you're creating something, but it's not really you. That's why there's a lot of like smoke and clouds and mysticism around the character in here, because she's kind of just, she's not clear. She's just outputting energy. And it's funny because going into this, I said, you know, Leos, they're pal, they're energy, they're there. But sometimes that energy output can be a misfire. It's like, you know, hitting the bulb, like going full throttle, or hitting the gas pedal all the way down, you know, on a turn where it's like you need to slow down at that part. So you need to make sure you're exerting your energy in the right ways, because there is something very grand that you are creating, but you're being called to create it with your true, authentic self. So Leo, as really, to me, my personal opinion, some of the most masterful creators and the most powerful manifestors, because of your passion and because of your imagination and your childlike nature. And also the fact that you have the sun as the ruling house. So literally a Leo can sit in the sun and think about something and just smile and get lost in their imagination. And then it could happen probably within like a few hours or a few days. That's how y'all Leos get down, if you didn't know. You're very strong mental, solar mental magicians, okay? Because there are lunar shadow magicians. But this Leo is about what you are creating inauthentically, and it's there, and it's kind of like, you know what you should be doing, and you're like, no, but I see everybody else doing this, and no, but people are responding well to that. Right now, in the age of Aquarian, it's about creating new lanes and chopping down with your machete new paths in the jungle to find new land and to find new Atlantis. So you cannot traverse the paths already taken, because Leo, you're the king of the jungle, baby. You're the leader. All right. So it's definitely a call to authenticating what it is that you're creating. Hence why the chakra is gray. We also have another gray chakra. We didn't even look at this card, right? But didn't we say confusion? So there is confusion around almost like who you are. It's like you're wrapped up in so many layers. As you can see here, she's wrapped up in a scarf. She's wrapped up in a sweater. She has a jacket on and she's cold. It's like she's just wrapped up in so much. And all of this wrapped upness is causing confusion, because these layers of clothing, they don't belong to her. They're not hers. And by that, I mean that she stole them. No, I'm kidding. By that, I mean that she literally is pretending to be someone else. She's pretending to be a person that she is not. And Leo, you are the sign of authenticity and the expression of authenticity, like Aquarian. But Aquarian is like the independent, you know, rebel that goes against the current, that is, you know, just someone who's the black sheep and super badass and cool. But Leo, you're that too, but you're more of like, Aquarians aren't looking for a bandwagon to join. They're like Che Guevara. They just want to do things, you know, they can be leaders on their own right. They don't need a bunch of people following them. But you, Leo, you're really good at ushering people. I'm thinking of like J-Lo, who has such a powerful fan base. She is a Leo. And that is what I mean by the energy of Leo versus Aquarius. You are here to lead people, and not to say you're a leader, because I don't really subscribe to leaders or suggest other people subscribe to leaders, but you could be leading a new wave of a movement in fashion, a new wave of a movement in the way that people are looking at how to apply lipstick, a new wave and a movement on how people are cooking vegan food, a new way and a movement on how people are cooking pork, okay? It could be just something that you are here to create from a completely raw perception, but you're too wrapped up in confusion on watching and observing everybody else. And that is a lot of times like children, because Leo is the child of the zodiac next to Aries, of course, but Leo is very childlike in a positive way. In the shadow end, you can be very childish, petty, but in your light, within your divine light, Leo is childlike. That's why they can make anybody laugh, and they just bring joy, and they just, I don't know, they like to have a good old time with good food and good music and good vibes. Like, Leo is a good time, you know? So you need to unwrap yourself from all that confusion to get back to your basics and your simples, and take off those clothing that belong to someone else, okay? One thing I recommend for you to do, Leo, is I'm seeing that you actually need to just start creating. And it's not really something that you're going to start to do with the bath, or like with the other signs. I recommend they take a spiritual bath, or I recommend that they take like some type of, do some type of grounding work. But you just actually have to start just listening to your inner voice. There's really nothing that you need to do externally. Your work is internal. One thing I'd recommend to get rid of some of the confusion around your mind, or to unwrap yourself from others, is to give yourself a probation. Probate, or not probate, but do some type of probationary time where you don't look at others' movements. So if it's a social media thing, if you're a Leo, you probably are on social media. It's either way. But if it's social media, or if you're guilty of watching some type of guilt TV that makes you, like, there's something that you're mimicking that is affecting you from getting through to your natural and true self. So maybe giving a few less hours a day. Really, it should be trying to do a whole day without, but that's kind of hard. So just doing less hours a day. There are apps that you can download that will limit and restrict your time and monitor how much time you spend on social media platforms. Step back from that, because Leo, we need you to create something authentic. We need you, boo. So let's look at the lunar influence. Let me put it down. Anything else? Spirit. So we go here. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Like I was just saying, this is the time for you to stop looking at other people's stuff and to start doing your own thing. Taking action and doing that thing that you know. I keep hearing the song, do the thing you do that thing you do. Wasn't that a movie with Tom Hanks? Maybe watch that movie, right? But do that thing that you're supposed to do, baby. You are supposed to be creating something truly authentic. And it's funny how this says new moon in Aries, right? And what is Aries? Aries is the other fire sign, but Aries is the first of all of the astrology, the first of all of the zodiac. So because it's first, it is the real, true pioneer. And that is why I was feeling that there's some pioneer thought, or some, it's like very new, provoking newness that you are going to cultivate. And like I said, it could be something as little as, I keep seeing somebody putting on lipstick in a way that like Fenty Beauty catches on. And now Fenty Beauty uses you as their like spokesmodel for whatever. I don't know, because I don't follow Fenty or models and makeup that much. I do follow Fenty though. But you can be doing something that you think is so small and stupid, but it's what you do, and it's going to kick off something on a grand, big scale. That's why you have that Aries, new moon, Aries, something new, something that's a new first, because Aries is first, all right? So believe in yourself, Leo. You've got the ability to do it. Just ground yourself, exert your energy in the right way, in the right manner. Don't misfire your energy. Otherwise, you're giving all of you to others when you're here to be giving us something good. Okay? Best of luck to you, Leo. All right, Scorpios. Dun, dun, dun. Cue music. I love me some Scorpios. So, let's go ahead. Especially Scorpio men, they're so intense. They're like vampires. So let's go ahead and give you Scorpios, the women too, they're so seductive. Let's give you your reading for your chakra energy. I did do a pre-shuffle to avoid so much noise on the microphone for you all. So we are going to look at what chakra you need to begin calling into balance and why. And we're also going to look at your lunar influence, okay? But starting with the chakra, I've already kind of cut the deck, but I'll cut it again because why not? And let's see, for this April 30th, Beltane, Black Moon, partial solar eclipse, new moon in Taurus, solar eclipse in Taurus. I mean, a lot of energy right now. Let's see what's going on for all of you Scorpios, all right? So great, we want to know what messages in the chakra body do you have for Scorpio? What messages in the chakra body do you have for Scorpio? See, first thing that came out for you, Scorpio, is to remain impartial. To remain impartial. There is something that is coming up. Immediately, I'm seeing that it's something within a family or close friends, family. There's your parent, it could be between children, and your children are grown though. But there's some type of situation that you're going to be put into the middle of, and you are being called to remain impartial because this is going to be worked out naturally. It's going to be worked out on a higher level. You are here and you've been placed in the middle of this situation to help balance the view from each perspective. Because one thing that you Scorpios are amazing at is you're really good at assessing, analyzing, and running through details with the finest tooth of comb. And when you start to do that, or it's like Scorpios make the best private investigators, okay? Because they're just so tenacious at getting to the root of it, to getting to the bottom of something. And with that, you're actually probably going to even have information on something that if you shared it with the other party, it could be a detriment to them. Or if you took the information that you had and shared it with the other side of the party, it would be a detriment to them. It's like you have access to the red button that can destroy everything right now that's going on between this close friendship or this close family matter. You are literally in the middle of this family matter and close friendship, but you got your cool though. You're not tripping over it. You just it's almost like you're enjoying. I'm going to keep it real because I don't know how to do anything else. It's almost like you're enjoying it. Not that you're enjoying the chaos, but you're enjoying the idea of feeling so needed and feeling so valued and feeling so beneficial. It's kind of like a small reckoning that's happening for you within the chaos that is happening, because chaos is not a bad thing, all right? Chaos brings great change and transcendence and transition. And within this craziness that's happening, you're able to see how much value you actually contribute, how much value you actually have in this family, how much weight you hold. That's what's coming to mind. How much weight you hold. Look, she's holding two paint cans, right? I didn't really look at this picture. What color? Blue and red paint. She's holding 2 paint cans. So it's about knowing your worth and your weight and being fair in how you rule judgment, okay, against things. The second card that you got was a miracle. So a miracle is being worked on this situation, and that could be that the guides or angels that are surrounding, or the helpers, the fae, even the demons that are coming around to help out with the situation, they are at play actively to help heal the circumstance. But within you also, like, you are expected to feel, they're telling me, a birthing of light or a birthing of resurgence. I don't know what that means to some of you, but this birthing of light, and it's kind of like the light that you see coming out the base of that, but this birthing of light or this birthing of resurgence is going to be created within you for maintaining neutrality, for knowing, oh, that's what it's about, God and Spirit. It's about knowing how to position your power, because Scorpio, you rule power. You are the house, you are the planet of power. Scorpio is about power plays, okay? So you are acknowledging your power, and you are aware. She even has like a crystal over her forehead, if you can see. You are, that's showing me clear, crystal clear awareness. Crystal clear awareness. You are totally aware of what you're coming through with. And this is creating, or it's birthing, and if you can even almost see in the flames, it's like a woman that's in the smoke, that's in those flames, a woman that's in the smog. And it's as if this newfound light, or this newfound resurgence within you has created a divine aspect of yourself. So outside of the miracle being worked on the situation, you in itself have birthed a miracle within yourself. It's kind of weird, but I'm seeing like the Virgin Mary, like you've rebirthed yourself. So even if you've gained weight a little bit recently, or if you've been a little swollen, or if you've been retaining water weight, it's because you have just created you've just finished the gestation period of birthing a newer version of yourself. So soon you should expect to start seeing more glowy skin, might have more allure, because you're channeling your power in a very divine feminine way right now. You are giving birth to yourself, as weird as that sounds, but I'm talking to Scorpio, so I know that shit don't sound weird. Let's look at that lunar energy. So Spirit, what the tell us your Scorpio and the lunar? God, I can't make it up, bro. You can't make it up. A time for healing. A time for healing under the balsamic moon. A time for healing. And if you even look at that, it kind of looks like a partial eclipse too, right? But this time of healing, like I said, you literally just birthed into fruition a higher version of yourself. That's why I've been married. Like a miracle baby. Oh, I love it. I love when things come full circle. It's like you have created a miracle baby within yourself. This is a time of great healing for you. This is a time of great growth. And it's also a time of great, that's why that word resurgence came up, of great resurgence, but also great re-emergence. That Spirit confirming. Spirit always confirms for me in cars, in traffic, but great re-emergence. Now, this time for healing is telling me, and let's go back, this is solar plexus energy. So this is everything around the stomach, which is why I was feeling birthing, or I was feeling just water weight, or even if your menstrual cycle right now might be a little bit heavier than it usually is because you're retaining some extra water to birth your miracle self. But that miracle self is connected to how you will divinely channel your power, how you will walk the line in this situation that you may find yourself wrapped in between loved ones, and how you will step into a matriarch or patriarchal role. And it's, even if you are stepping as a male, you will be a patriarchal matriarch, because everything right now is about the great mother, we've already mastered the divine masculine energy, and we've probably mastered it a little bit too much, a little too far. So the role that this energy is bringing is the great mother, you know, the crone, the old woman with the cane that's watching everybody on the porch and make sure shit is copacetic. The one that you don't talk back to. And everybody knows that. So that is the energy that you are actually stepping into. It's very mature, it's very divine, and it makes sense because Scorpio is related to Hecate, which is related to the crone mother of the divine trinity. Okay, so for you, Scorpio, one thing I would recommend that you should do to bring in this healing is to take a spiritual bath, is what I'm hearing. But your spiritual bath, I want you to do it during the daytime. So you know that a lot of times we might be called to take a spiritual bath at night, but yours should be during the early parts of the day, preferably around noon or 3:30. These are the hours that I'm hearing just to channel the divine number 3. So noon, because 1 + 2 = 3. Even 12:12, because you'll have the double 3 action right there. But for you, Scorpio, you want to start to use you want to channel or do your spiritual bath while you are in sunlight, okay? All right. So Scorpio, I hope that serves you, and until next time. All right, so Cancers, you are up next. So to my lovely Cancers, who I just adore, they're so nurturing, they're so generous. We're going to take a look at the chakra, or the chakras that you are ready to fall into balance with this new moon in Taurus coming up on Saturday, April the 30th. And this new moon energy is big energy because it also comes in with a partial solar eclipse in Taurus as well. So let's see what chakra bodies are needed for you to balance. And I've already shuffled to save on some noise and time. And we're also then going to look at what the LUNARY, and you are the sign of the moon. You represent the moon. So I'm interested to see what the moon is communicating to you. So let's start with the chakra first. So for Spirit, right now, we are calling forth to learn and understand what messages do you have for Cancer in regards to the chakra they need to call to balance. There's one, two, three, other. Right, so let's start with this one that flipped over upright. And that is confusion. So there are some things that you may be feeling stuck on and that you may be coming into clarity soon about, is what I'm hearing. Now, that clarity that is coming is going to come in a form of, it may come into the form of a dream, which is why you may have been forgetting it frequently, because might be the reason why you're still confused, because you're not retaining the messages that you're getting through from your dreams. And if you can see, kind of in the background, you have like a little spirit guide there that's trying to tell you, hey, you, you got something to tell you. And while those messages may be coming through to you, you are in your waking day not remembering them. So first and foremost, number one thing I recommend that you do is to start to keep a dream journal. Whether you have a hard copy one with a pen and paper, every day you write your dreams down as soon as you wake up, or use an app to write down your dreams, because that's going to help you to begin to reveal the messages that your guides are trying to tell you when you're sleeping. The second card you have here is bittersweet. So, that's a jumpy card. So there are some messages, or there are some memories more so, that I feel that you may be holding on to from childhood that are a little bit bittersweet for you right now. And you may be looking at a lot of things down memory lane, a lot of things that you're not able to let go of necessarily because you feel that they ended in an incomplete way or an incomplete fashion. This could be, lovers that you had when you were younger, or experiences that you did when you were younger, and now when you reflect back, time spent with family. it's just a little bit bittersweet for you. So how does this tie into confusion? Let's see what the lunar cards are advising for you. Why is Cancer so confused? What advice do you have for them? Okay, we have two cards that jumped out. So I'm going to take them. This first one is, okay, so first and foremost, the blue moon, which I'm going to look at this as the black moon, but the blue moon is kind of like the black moon because the black moon is the second new moon within a month span. So believe in the impossible. So there's something that you have a belief about that you've held onto that you don't think that you will have it again. There is, and again, this is a memory that's years back. This is not something that just happened. It's a memory that's a little bit older, and you're not allowing yourself to expand and grow past that belief. You feel that it's almost impossible for you to have that feeling again. And if it's someone that you may have lost, meaning they're no longer here in the physical, or they've really just moved on where it's just not going to work again, you got to let go of thinking or let go of wishing for that one experience, because there are other experiences that are coming in for you. And it makes sense. It says here that you are good enough. So these messages that, or your guide, what messages your guide is trying to remind you of, and the confusion that you're having around who you are. And the confusion is not actually who you are. The confusion is around what you want. It's around what you really want, because you're tying your desires or you're tying your fulfillment and happiness to a single person. I'm seeing it could be a place, it could be a thing, it could be a point in time of your life where you had just a lot of freedom, or maybe a lot of money, or maybe a lot of homes, whatever. But this is in connection to a person that you are confused about now, what you want and how to move forward with what you want. But you have to start with the realization that you are enough to receive it, because disbelieve in the impossible. The reason why you don't think that what you really want can happen is because you don't believe that you deserve it. You don't believe that you're good enough to have it. So if this is something that happened in the past, and it's like you did that not with your most matured self, maybe you used to be a serial cheater, or maybe you used to be someone who was just really abusive. You were the abuser in your relationships. You are at a time right now, or maybe you were the abusee or the abused in the relationship. You're at a time right now where you should be moving, or you're ready to begin moving past those bitter, sweet memories, which does make me feel like this is a lover that you're holding on to, and that you should be calling in self-love and self-nurturing energy right now, which is why you have this Virgo appearing in You Are Good Enough. So this is throat chakra. As you can see, we do have blue, and we also have gray. But focusing more so on the blue, what I want you to do for your throat chakra, Cancer, is I want you to spend some time by water and near water. And I want you to read a love book, or I want you to write your own love story, or listen to there's a book called, I'll post it up here, the title. And I want you to listen to that book to help with any past kind of traumas that you're not allowing yourself, spirit confirmation right there, that you're not allowing yourself to move past. Because these bittersweet memories, they're just blocking your blessings of new love that you can receive in. And not just new romantic love, it's new love from a romantic end. It's new love for within your relationships with your family members, within your colleagues. It's kind of like everywhere it's almost like you pinched off that main vein of life source that helps. And you're the mother symbol. Cancer is the mother symbol of the zodiac. So you have to unpinch that life force, because you're not allowing that good loving to spread around as it should be, because you're caught up in the past, and what's done is done. take what was beautiful about what you shared and just let that be something that you keep with you. And what was not beautiful, just move forward from it, okay? All right, Cancer, so that does conclude your reading. Make sure that you are spending time near the water. Listen to some audiobooks, listen to some motivational books that help you with recovery. But books on love, write your own book, but definitely spend time near water and get that dream journal so that way you can record down your dreams and memories of them. Best of luck to you, Cancer. All right. Okay, so Pisces. Pisces. I love me, my Pisces. Why? Because I'm a Pisces myself. And we are just the best, aren't we? But being completely impartial here, let's see what the energy is for the lovely Pisces out there. And I'm going to do a quick shuffle because I did have a few minutes. And Pisces, we are going to be seeing for this April 30th Saturday, Black Moon, partial solar eclipse in Taurus, and also Beltane Moon, right? We're going to see what mystical energies, because you are the sign of the mystics, you are the sign of spirituality. So we want to see what chakra is calling you, spiritualists, into balance for this current energy. And then from there, we're going to look at the lunary influence as well. Guidance. What is this new moon's guidance for this Sun and Pisces moon sign? Starting with the chakras. Okay, so Great Spirit, we want to know what chakra body does Pisces need to go into balance and why? Right, Pisces, prayer. Oh, that makes sense. Prayer. Pisces, as the most spiritual sign, sometimes we get so caught up in feeling everything for everyone going on around us, we forget to pray, but not just pray, but pray for ourselves. There may be a calling for some of you to do higher work. And immediately what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing for you, Pisces, is to begin. You have the power. Interesting. Never considered this before, but this is what I'm getting. Pisces, you have the power with your astrological placement that you, because you're usually the empaths, right? You usually have the empathic influence to either receive everything coming into you, meaning you can feel the energy and vibes of the room, of people, of time past and current. But you also, on the flip end of that, one of the greatest gifts of an empath is being able to project energy out. So an empath in their greatest form can influence a room to bring joy. So if a room is stagnant and stale, it can transmit that energy by just being a beacon and a signal of projection. So there is powerful prayer that you have right now, the ability to call in to reform things on a grand scale, Pisces. So this means that with your words, and this is not prayer in a traditional sense of pick up a holy book like the Bible or like the Quran and then start reading some verses. Now you can do that. You can read some Psalms and Proverbs and all of that, but this is prayer of just spoken word. This is about what you are professing from a guttural. That's why you have the yellow card or the yellow solar influence, because it's about the guttural feel, what you feel deep down in your belly that you're ready to command into will. I almost feel like a warrior or like ferocious, because there's a lot of bitterness that may have happened for you recently and for all of us, right? But there's a lot of bitterness and turmoil that's been in the world. And as Pisceans, we tend to feel it more. We tend to be more impressionable than the other signs. You tend to feel the sadness or feel the weight of the world. We as Pisceans bear that cross. So what you'll need to do, Pisces, is start to take command of that energy and to use the power of prayer. And prayer, I'm going to use another word, of spells. And spells, it's not so witchy as you think, because you have to, in order to get a sentence, you got to spell words. So you can use words to form spells over the influence of an environment. If you live in a shitty neighborhood and you want it to be more positive and productive, you can start speaking more positively and productively at your altars, speaking into nature and speaking words of love, of light, of joy, of kindness, of upliftment, of unconditional love. Piscean, you are the symbol and the sign of unconditional love, so you have that power to do that. And this is a yellow card because if you can see, it has buildings in the back, and over here you have nature and just naturalness. And not that there's anything wrong with city life, because I live in a city area and I love the city, but there's something about living more closely to nature, living more in connection with animals, living more in connection with the streams of water, with the growth of trees, with the budding of flowers, with the production of fruit, with the buzzing of bees. It's a harmony that you achieve. And you can bring harmony into spaces with just your words. So Pisces, you have a personal duty right now to begin to pray forth the change that you want to see immediately within yourself, immediately within your household, immediately within your loved ones, and immediately within your communities and surroundings. Pisces, your homework is simple. You need to be out in the sun and profess. So I literally see you walking. And while you're walking, I see you talking. So maybe put on headphones or just whisper. And I don't want you to get out there looking like a crazy person. You know, I don't mind it, but I don't want to recommend that for you do, unless you're down with the crazy crew. But, you know, forget what people are saying. And even if you just kind of murmur to yourself while you're walking outside in the sun, or go somewhere for a picnic, be out in the sun and just speak your words and send your energy rays of love out into the world, and you're going to just feel elevated, and you're going to feel the people that hang out with you, your family, your loved ones, they're just going to respond to you elevated. It's almost going to feel like you fell in love again. Yes, Pisces. So let's take a look at this deck. What lunary influences you have as well. Lunar influences your Pisces spirit, Pisces sun, and Pisces moon. A new start is coming. Yes, and sure enough, it is the new moon. And why is that new start coming, Pisces? No, I'm gonna give you a minute to figure it out. Why is that new start coming? Because you prayed it into existence. You made it happen. You are the reason that we feel with this new moon energy. And this is a big responsibility, right? And it's not a calling for each Pisces out there, but those of you who are walking the spiritual path, because again, Pisces is the sign of spirituality, point blank, period. So because of that, you have a leg up on almost majority of the other signs to step into your position or your spiritual placement as a spiritual warrior or a spiritual ambassador of your bloodline, of your family. So this new moon on the 30th is powerful for you to begin to manifest the change in the world, or that fresh start that we are all ready to see. Okay, so Pisces, I'm feeling superhero vibes, superhero energy coming from you. I'm feeling like you need to go in your closet. You need to dust off your cape. You need to get your mask out. You need to boot up, because we are ready to see those superhero changes that you are going to bring into existence by just with your spoken word. Okay, you literally have the ability right now to change your life circumstances from lemons into lemonade. Maybe even listen to Beyonce's album Lemonade. But let me tell you, there is great change and great influence that is coming your way for you. All you have to do is put some belief and some consistency, because one thing about us Pisces, we can tend to waver and not be consistent with what it is that we are trying to work towards. So you will need to maintain consistency with what you're speaking and put firm belief behind it. And remember, be in that sunlight. That is going to help lift and elevate your energy. Pisces, I hope that that has served you. And until next time, Love Naturally, out.